Lilu, I'm a grumpy, angry man. Grr. I like to complain about everything and everyone, and nothing will ever change. Grr. Oh, Lilu, your sunny outlook on life has changed my fundamental personality traits. I'm now a different man. That wasn't that hard, was it? Buckle up, let's talk A Man Called Otto. A Man Called Otto is an American remake of a Swedish film, which I, unfortunately, never saw, but I heard good things about.
I heard some things. Hey, you heard things.
The film is centered around a man named Otto, played by the wonderful Tom Hanks, who is depressed after the loss of his wife, and, he's basically a curmudgeon in all aspects of his life. But can his icy demeanor be thawed by a heartwarming family moving in next door? Feels like I've seen this movie many times before. Yeah, it's essentially Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino, or the first 10 minutes of Pixar's Up. When I saw the trailer for this remake, I wasn't exactly blown away. It looked a little bit, too formulaic, and I could pretty much guess what would happen based on the trailer. Which is why I really hate trailers. Don't give it away, guys! Don't give away the movie! So despite my hesitations, I saw this movie just because of Tom Hanks. He is such a great actor, and, I just felt I had to give it a shot. So I guess you could kind of say I came to this movie much like the character he plays in this movie, Otto. Grumpy and needing to be won over by the charms of the characters of the movie. Was the film successful in winning my old Grinchy heart? The answer? Kind of a mixed bag. There I sat in the theater, and I was pretty much confirming my original suspicions that this film was so cliche and the plot points were taking me down the obvious paths. Then that pesky Tom Hanks performance started to chip away at me, exposing my soft underbelly. Also, the marvelous Marina Trevino came into the picture, and I soon found myself opening up to the sentimentality of the film. I am not immune to the charms of a crowd-pleasing movie, after all. Marina's character is there to be that figure that gives him hope to live again, but just as I felt about Tom Hanks' performance, I just couldn't help but fall in love with her charm, as she not only disarms the grumpy Otto character, but myself included. The only thing the trailer did obscure for me was how much this film deals with the very heavy topic of suicide. I think Tom Hanks especially shines with this difficult and dark material, which also really helped me care and sympathize for the character. These moments are often sandwiched between flashbacks to his wife, which I found pretty melodramatic and obviously in the film to drive our emotions. I would rather just watch Tom Hanks subtly experiencing these memories in the future rather than an overly glossy version of a Hallmark Channel version of his life. Tom Hanks has always had such a gift for saying so much without having to play off another actor. I mean, he literally made me fall in love with a volleyball once.
Well done!
There were times this movie truly gave me some enjoyment and reminded me of the kind of feel-good movies they made in the 90s. Damn you, Tom Hanks! Why must I love you despite your Grinch disease? But as the film progresses, you are constantly thrown with every single stereotypical trope a dramatic film can throw at you. I mean, all of this is clearly designed to elicit emotions from the audience, and it just didn't feel honest. And sometimes it was just corny. I mean, I'm looking at you, social media takedown, which, also that scene in the movie is just such a random tag on to the story. I could see right through all this manipulation, and while it is hard to resist loving some of its earnest charm, it's still just way too much for me to ignore these faults. Lilu, I'm also onto you in your emotional manipulations. Trying to get treats? I see right through you. Oh God, just like this movie, it works. I can't resist you, Lilu. You're just too cute. I can't resist. Have a treat. Yeah, you won me over, Lilu, despite my better judgment. the film has a warm-hearted message that I think will win the hearts of the majority of the audience. It really is an old-fashioned crowd pleaser, crafted to tug at your emotions with surgical precision. As there were many sniffles in our movie theater, but it's in these crafted moments that you can see how it's more formulaic than emotional. The film is as subtle as a cat in a bird sanctuary. It ultimately feels like the creators didn't trust the story enough without all of the glossy hand-holding. The film is a few steps away from a Hallmark film, but due to the wonderful cast, they make this movie worth a watch. While I could predict what was coming next, it didn't stop me from tearing up just a little bit for the emotional roller coaster this movie offers. In the end, I'm giving this movie a yellow light. I mean, I'm not a robot. I felt the emotional impact.
Oh, I want to know what would happen if I were human. I mean, being a robot's great, but we don't have emotions, and sometimes that makes me very sad.
But I was bothered, as I could look under the hood and see all the tricks they were pulling to get me that way. I mean, a David Blaine magic trick isn't quite as effective if you know the secret to it. But having said that, I truly believe most who see this film will walk away enjoying it. But a yellow light of caution for those negatives, so keep that in mind. Oh, Tom Hanks, I know you played Geppetto, but you can't make a puppet out of me! Well, maybe just a little. I am a real boy! I'm a real boy! With feelings, okay? You've got me again, Tom Hanks! Damn you, Tom Hanks, you got me! Psh, formulaic movies? It's not like my movie reviews are formulaic. I mean, I do always talk to my dog while discussing the latest films while driving, and I do usually drive towards this cliff at the end. Holy shit!